So, yesterday it was official. Roe v. Wade is gonzo. Now, before I get into, there's a lot to talk about on this one, and I'm gonna be focusing on protests in this segment. But again, I just want to say, like, I don't know, man. Democratic politicians are really insufferable. They're insufferable. The so-called Supreme Court justices that aren't cult member psychopaths are also insufferable. I'm really sick of these liberal, uppity morons. And I want to go through a couple of these examples. So, this clip, you may have seen this circulating the rounds. I know that this is during the bipartisan gun reform bullshit, which the bipartisan gun reform bill is trash. It might reduce gun violence a little bit, but it's not going to get at any of the problems. And it's also, again, the Supreme Court, whatever possible good would come from it, the Supreme Court's going to kick out. Right? So, but here's a clip of Democratic politicians singing a song. As you can hear some protest chants gear up in the background.
The night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
I mean, like,
only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
So a lot of people are like, oh, no. It's because they're celebrating the gun bill. Okay, you can celebrate the gun bill. Whatever. Is it better than nothing? Maybe. I would argue it's worse than nothing because they're going to pretend like, oh, the gun problem is solved. Look at this bill we did. And it moves the needle back like maybe a couple percentage points, right? So I would argue it's worse than nothing. But, okay, so they're celebrating the gun bill by singing a song, God Bless America? What? What? God Bless America. What? I'm sorry. First of all, I know this might be controversial. There is no God. God's not blessing anybody. All right. Second of all, what the fuck? You need to go back to singing class. I was in fucking second grade fucking music class singing better songs than this fucking shit. Third of all, what the fuck? Okay, you passed gun reform, quote unquote, and now you're gonna sing? Why are we singing? Okay, I don't know why we're singing. Well, I'm not singing, but it gets worse. It gets worse. Okay. I want to play this clip here. Nancy Pelosi, whom I have a lot of respect for, right? As you know, Nancy Pelosi she's a very smart politician, right? As she said a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
He's saying this country needs a strong Republican Party, and we do.
A couple months ago, and this was after the draft leak of Roe v. Wade's decision, I guess the Dobbs decision. She's talking about we need a strong Republican Party. This is what she's been doing for months. Well, Nancy Pelosi, this is her response to the Supreme Court rolling back abortion rights. I mean, again, trigger warning, because you might, again, if you're in a car, pull over. If you're near a bridge, I would suggest walking in the opposite direction of whatever the closest bridge is. Because this man, holy shit.
I am personally overwhelmed by this decision. From time to time, I
just want to say again, the leaked draft, whatever it is, of the Dobbs-Jackson decision, Democrats had a several month heads up. They knew this was coming for months. Months! And what did all of the Democrats do? What did Nancy Pelosi do? Nothing. Nancy Pelosi actually did worse than nothing. She campaigned for an anti-abortion Democrat in Texas, who apparently was declared the winner after a long recount. So they had a several month heads up. And it's also, we should have seen this coming when Kavanaugh and Barrett were added to the court. Anyone that thought that the Supreme Court would not roll back rights once they had a 6-3 court is a fucking moron. And if you're telling me that the leader of the House of Representatives didn't see it coming, even after the leaked draft, didn't see it coming. What? So they're overwhelmed? They're overwhelmed? Are you joking? Is this a joke? You're overwhelmed? Anyway.
Quote, this poem by Ehud Manor. He's an Israeli poet. I met his wife when I've been in Israel. He says, I have no...
Wait, what?
In Israel. He's an Israeli poet. I met his wife when I've been in Israel.
What a weird thing to say. I met his wife and I've been in Israel. Okay, I'm happy that you took a vacation to another country. Like, I don't know, that's just such a weird thing. Is that what she said? When I've been in Israel? Okay, I don't know.
In Israel. He says, I have no other country, even though my land is burning. Only a word in Hebrew penetrates my veins, my soul, with an aching body and with a hungry heart. Here is my home. I will not be silent, for my country has changed her face. My country has changed her face. I shall not give up on her. I shall remind her and sing into her ears until she opens her eyes. Clearly, we hope that the Supreme Court would open its eyes.
I said this on Twitter earlier. If you go to work, right, and let's say you're the second one in or you're the first one into your job, okay, and then someone else, your coworker, comes to work and it's only you and that coworker, and that coworker says, like, maybe they don't know that you're there, or maybe they're talking out loud, maybe you look at their phone and you see something, and you find out that they're planning on carrying out a mass shooting at work tomorrow, right? Because this is what the leaked draft, I'm sorry. That's what they said. They said they were going to do this. And no one, they were like, oh. And then yesterday happens and they're like, whoa! Right, okay. So if you find out your coworker is going to commit a mass shooting tomorrow, and you don't do anything, you don't call your coworkers, you don't call the cops, and then you just let everyone go in there. Maybe you take your day off and let everyone go in there and get shot and killed by the crazy coworker, right? That would be criminal negligence. You knew that a crime was going to happen, and you did nothing about it. So, okay. You hope the Supreme Court will open its eyes? What the fuck? What? Like, seriously? Nancy Pelosi belongs in prison. Now, again, obviously, Republicans and every justice on the Supreme Court also belongs in prison. No shit. But again, if you know someone is going to fuck people over and you do nothing to stop it, while you're in a position to stop it. I love how she's quoting a poem, by the way. A poem. Was that poem written by, like, the fucking Prime Minister of Israel or some shit? No, it was written by some motherfucker sitting in their house. Right? You're the fucking Speaker of the motherfucking House of Goddamn Son of a Bitch and Representatives, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, if I wanted to come on my show in my bedroom and read a fucking stupid fucking poem, it would make at least a little bit of sense. I have no political power. This is the Speaker of the fucking goddamn motherfucking House of motherfucking Representatives. And she's gonna read a fucking poem? And again, this is the same stupid fucking whore that's going out there saying we need a strong Republican Party. Well, we got one. Can we get a strong Democratic Party? Is that possible? And then we got Joe Biden. Shit fuck for brains. Dumb motherfucker. Stupid fuckface in chief. Joe fucking goddamn Biden. With this goddamn horse shit.
I call on everyone, no matter how deeply they care about this decision, to keep all protests peaceful. Peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. No intimidation. Violence is never acceptable. Threats and intimidation are not speech.
So, okay. Here's my thing. And I'm going to talk more about this statement in a little bit. But the right wing commits violence, acts of violence all day, every day. Again, they telegraphed, they told everyone they were going to overturn Roe versus Wade months ago. And what did Joe Biden do? Nothing. Nothing. He did nothing. So, okay, you're telling me people have to live under fascist, authoritarian, minoritarian rule, and you're the president who says that you're going to do something about it, you do nothing, and now you're trying to tell us to calm down? I don't know, man. I'm going to talk more about this statement in a second here, but I just want to talk about general Democratic incompetence right now. The Democratic Party is garbage. It's garbage. Cloud asked, what should he have done? He should go on television every single day to discuss how the court functions, to discuss the shadow docket, to discuss what they're telegraphing, how they're going to do it. He should go up there every single day on national television. We should give Joe Biden 7 days a week, 8 p.m. primetime mandatory viewing for him to go out there and say what needs to be done to end the Republican power in this country. Instead, he goes out there, he campaigns for Republicans. He's hiding all the problems. Instead, he's just saying, oh, someone else should do this. Right? He should go out there and say we need to expand the court. Electoral college reform. How did these people get on the court to begin with? Seriously. How did any of these Republicans get on the court? From presidents who lost popular vote. They didn't win. We don't live in a democracy. George W. Bush did not win in 2000 in the popular vote. Donald Trump in 2016 lost the popular vote. The Senate, a 50-50 Senate, Democrats represent 40 million more people than Republicans, and it's split down the middle, right? So, I don't know, you could educate Americans, because we have to understand, Americans are fucking stupid. Americans are fucking dumb motherfuckers. Americans suck ass. And not like the good kind of ass that you really want to suck, but the bad kind of ass, right? Like the fucking, I don't know, like someone that just ate Taco Bell approximately 48 minutes ago kind of ass. You don't want to go anywhere near that shit, right? So it's incumbent upon our leaders to educate people. To educate people. You can't just go up there and say, I wish this weren't the case, and not educate people as to how we got here and what we need to do. This idea that Democrats, they don't have the power to do something, and so they should just shut up and stay home and not talk about anything. That's what got us into this fucking mess. Republicans are constantly being educated by their leaders. Republicans know more about the court system than the average Democrat. And why is that? Because Democrats don't fucking educate their voter base. They don't. Republicans love to educate their voter base. And obviously, the kind of education is like this, again, the Christian theocracy kind of education that preaches disinformation and lies, right? And Democrats just go like, wow, aren't the Republicans super bad? And they don't spend any amount of time educating their voters at all. So I don't care what Joe Biden's power says. He should be doing executive orders that are blatantly illegal. Donald Trump did it. Do like 10, 30, 50, 300 blatantly illegal executive orders and let them go through the courts. Let them, like, just slog down the courts so that it takes longer for them to get to these cases where they overturn people's rights. Print out 16 trillion executive orders. We have a copy machine. I don't care if they're all illegal. Donald Trump didn't care when he was doing illegal executive actions. Let them go to the courts and let them strike down each one individually. Waste their fucking time for a couple years so we have a couple more years of rights if you're not going to do anything. Like, that's the thing, is that Americans are fucking stupid. Americans are stupid motherfuckers. Full stop. Every American, including myself and including you, are dumb motherfuckers. Our schools didn't educate us on how this shit works. Our parents certainly didn't educate us on how this shit works. Our leaders didn't educate us on how this shit works. The only people that are getting any sort of actual education are far-right Christian theocrats, and they're getting educated in the Bible. And what God says. But they don't actually read the Bible. They have someone else tell them what the Bible says. And sure, everything that they say in the Bible is wrong. But they just tell someone it's in the Bible and they'll think it's real. Instead, Democrats scold their base. Democrats are like, no, our voters fucking suck. Fuck the voters. By the way, Roe v. Wade got overturned. Can you give us some cash? And then what's that shit with Dianne Feinstein hugging Lindsey Graham at the Amy Coney Barrett hearing? Like, seriously? What the fuck? Democratic leaders are garbage. They're garbage. They're garbage. Trash. It's garbage. It's shit in my asshole. Like, what we have in this country are two radical sides. One is radically in favor of destroying everyone else's lives and installing a Christian theocracy, installing a king, which they tried to do on January 6th. The other radical side are people that just want, you know, everyone to get along and to love one another. Radical! I know, it's insane! And then what you got is a middle 70 to 80% of America that probably more so agrees with the everyone should love one another shit, but they do nothing. They don't care. They're fucking stupid. They don't give a shit. They won't do anything for anybody. They're losers. They're fucking crybaby losers, right? And then, again, the radical left, which are the good guys, they spend all their time yelling at each other and yelling at liberals and creating all these stupid fucking divides. And the radical right, they're spending all their time getting dictators on the Supreme Court, destroying our fucking country. The Republican Party represents the radical right, and the Democratic Party represents the radical do-nothing center. The motherfuckers that wouldn't even, like, I don't know, if, like, Adolf Hitler was at their doorstep and they had a chance to kill Adolf Hitler, they'd be like, oh, guns are icky, ugh. Like, these are the motherfuckers, man, that are just radical, do-nothing, loser fuckers. I'm sick and tired of these loser fuckers. These fucking losers like Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, House and Senate Democrats are fucking losers. They're fucking losers. Now again, we got a couple, 6, 7, 8, maybe, that are worth something at all, but they can't do everything alone. AOC cannot single-handedly educate everyone in America. It's just not possible. Bernie Sanders cannot single-handedly educate every American. He can try his best. He can educate millions of people. But we need more people to educate one another and bring people to the actual solutions. Like radically loving one another. That shouldn't be that hard. I love my neighbor and would do anything for my neighbor when they're in jeopardy. And my neighbor loves me and would do anything for me when I'm in jeopardy. That should be a pretty fucking simple concept. But Americans are fucking stupid. And we elect stupid fucking leaders. That's the problem. We have stupid fucking goddamn leaders in this stupid fucking goddamn country. Anyway, I got more to say about a lot. I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. But let's take an and break. Hello, depleted uranium cowboy.